Nang katulad ating galing, isang araw din ay makakamtan. Sa isang magsisikap lahat magagawa. Ang ibang inaangat, manali kong katulad na. Sa isang nakisilip ay araw na sisikat din. Aking bibigay ang iyong pagpapilin, ang batong pag-asa'y muling tatanawin. Amot naman ako'y aking makakamtan. Pustos ang pagsisigaw, pag-uwi sa pangarap. Sa isang bata may munting piling, ibigais niyang iparingin. Pagkakaroon sa walang bahala, karunungan ay siyang mas mahalaga. Ng ibang hinahangan, kahit kung katulad na sa isang nakisilip ay araw na sisikat din. Aking bibigay ang iyong pagpapilin, ang batong pag-asa'y muling tatanawin. Amot naman ako'y aking makakamtan. Pustos ang pagsisigaw, matutupad ang pangarap. Wala kang makakahadlang, kahit pulos ay kumarap. Sipag at tatas ng ating hawak. Mabilis ng ating paglawan, patunay na ilangan. Pangalan ko ay siyang matutupad, matutupad.
Halina't makinig sa akin, tamang kabalaran ang kahihinang natin. Bukal sa iyong isipan, tagumpay ng tatahakin. Isang pangarap na lubos, landas na iyong pagtutunguhan. Pangat na inaasam, di mapipigil ni luman. Maaabot lahat ng iyong inaasam. Kasipagan ng sagot, salat ka man sa kayamanan. Buksan ang pahina ng mga aklat ng karunungan. Edukasyon ating kailangan, kamamangan ating iwanan. Peace!
Aking pilipinin, ang himawagin,
ating tanawin,
batong pag-asa'y muling tatanawin.
Kinabukasan pakibayin, pilitin mo gawin.
Pustos ang pagsisigaw,
Asa ay yakapin,
isang
edukasyon ng kayamanan ng kahit ninuman. Isang pangarap ang tutupad, magsisigawan ng lahat.
pustos ang pagsisigaw,
Kaya mo yun, kaibigan.
mapupuno isang pangarap.
The unseen enemy crept like a thief in the night, smizing cunningly at people in their sleep. And one morning, took hostage of humanity by surprise as the coronavirus pandemic continues to spread its ferocious rampage the world over. COVID 19 took the different sectors by storm, and education was no exception.
COVID-19 pandemic shocks the world. We didn't see this coming. We were caught unaware. This has created the new normal, and we have to embrace it by addressing the challenges it brings.
Determined to pursue the delivery of education amidst the COVID 19 pandemic, DepEd Region 10 launched its banner program dubbed as RX Adobe.
The Department of Education, Northern Mindanao, has crafted its learning continuity plans under the banner program RX Adobe, which stands for Region 10 Alternative Delivery of Basic Education. It underscores the alternative delivery modes under the remote teaching and learning. The 14 schools division offices of the region have crafted the learning continuity plans anchored on RX Adobe.
Always ready for education emergencies, DepEd Region 10 will continue its tradition of excellence in delivering its services anchored on the department's Sulong Edukalidad program.
As we pivot from access to quality, we have to consider a well-developed curriculum, improved learning environment, upskilled teachers, and take into consideration responsive multi-stakeholders cooperation. All these and more are under the program Sulong Edukalidad. But on top of this all, still health and safety are the number one concerns of the Department of Education, especially at this time of pandemic.
Serving with heart.
Leading
Envisioning with our heart.
Straight from the heart of DepEd Region 10.
education must continue.
Amihan ng Mindanao, pagkahiusan ng paibabaw. BigaTEN DepEd, pagpadaan sa edukasyon, mao'y tumong nga maangkon. BigaTEN DepEd, DepEd Northern Mindanao, for the learners then and now, we're always here to serve you no matter how. Pangarap natin abutin, pagsisikapan nating kamtin, kalidad na edukasyon para sa bata, para sa bansa. Kauban, kasaligan, kadampan, kadeped. Kauban, kasaligan, kadampan, kadeped. Ambihan ng Mindanao, DepEd Northern Mindanao. Ambihan ng Mindanao, pagkahiusan ng paibabaw. BigaTEN DepEd, pagpadayon sa edukasyon, mao'y tumong nga maangkon. BigaTEN DepEd, DepEd Northern Mindanao, for the learners then and now, we're always here to serve you no matter how. Pangarap natin abutin, pagsisikapan nating kamtin, kalidad na edukasyon para sa bata, para sa bansa. DepEd Northern Mindanao, ambihan ng Mindanao. BigaTEN DepEd, BigaTEN DepEd.
Maayong adlaw ka DepEd. The Department of Education, Division of El Salvador City, through the Schools Division Research Committee, conducts the 2022 Divisional Research Conference, last April 7, 2022. The research conference was graced by our distinguished panel of reactors from the University of Science and Technology of Southern Philippines, Clavera Department, our research head, Dr. Francis Tays A. Simene, and also from our USTP partner in Cagayan de Oro City, our faculty, Dr. Angelo Mark P. Walag. Together with them is our Assistant Schools Division Superintendent from the Division of Cagayan de Oro City, Dr. Loribina C. Carrasco Sese. Last February 14, 2022, the Department of Education launched Galaw Pilipinas as a national calisthenics exercise program to promote active lifestyle. This was participated by our division office personnel and select teachers from Mulugan National High School to participate in a promotional video. This is led by our Schools Division Superintendent, Dr. Olga C. Alonsabe, our Assistant Schools Division Superintendent, Mr. Junicio Liwagon Jr., and our Education Program Supervisor for MAPE, Mr. Manuel A. Hanubas. This was reinforced by the participation of all our teachers and school heads in the division, as San Francisco de Aces National High School and Mulugan National High School won in the secondary level as Best Performer for their promotional video. Further, Himaya Elementary School and Hibonbon Elementary School won in the elementary level category. An orientation for DepEd's participation and preparation for the 2022 national and local elections has commenced last April 13, 19, and 21 for our teachers and non-teaching personnel. The activity aims to disseminate DepEd's participation and preparations aligned with the 2022 national and local elections, discuss the existing laws, derivatives, and other provisions expected to be adhered by the government employees during elections, and lay out the activities to be undertaken by the division relative to the establishment of the Division Election Task Force. Welcome to El Salvador City Central School for the monitoring of the school dental health care program conducted by the Central Office and the Regional Office personnel. You just heard the latest update from the Division of El Salvador City. This is your Division Information Officer, Marie Jade A. Kakayan, saying, here in ELSA, we preciously polish each gem.
Serbisyong tapat. Serbisyong sapat. Serbisyong dapat. Dito sa
Teach Shortcut, serbisyong galing sa puso para sa bawat guro.
Ayan po mga ka-DepEd Rara, just like what we promised earlier, ladies and gentlemen, today we'll discuss RPMS PPST, a refresher, an enrichment, and a discovery. And joining us now is ka-DepEd Kaloy na may maraming utang sa atin partner at absent siya I think for 2 weeks. Ka-DepEd Kaloy, nandyan ka na ba? Pasok ka na? At marami kang utang
Ayan,
sa
so good morning ka-DepEd Rada and ka-DepEd Paolo. Ayun po, na-miss ko kayo for the past 2 weeks, no? Kasi meron tayong commitments na dito labas sa Region 10. Kaya we really have to go there. Kasi meron din tayong program na hinahandle. Pero ayun, na-miss ko kayo, na-miss ko yung audience natin sa buong Region 10. And even those who are watching outside Region 10. Kasi ito naman yung programa natin to really reach out everyone in the landscape of DepEd para tayo ay makatulong, para tayo makaserbisyo para sa lahat. Kumusta kayong dalawa po? Di ba naging host ako bigla ng kumusta?
Ikaw ang kumusta at ikaw, sabi nga namin kanina, ikaw ang maraming utang. Anyway, di ba, what's in store for us today, ka-DepEd Kaloy?
What's up? Ang lakas ng ulan. Hindi ko rin marinig po. Yes po.
Yeah, what's in store for us today for our
Ayan.
avid
Yes,
viewers?
For this morning po, what we're going to do is that we're going to have meron na naman ng rollout si DepEd Central Office. Meron ng rollout, national orientation on how we do the RPMS PPST Year 3. But our initiative here right now in DepEd Region 10 is that we are going to have a reorientation of RPMS PPST Year 3 indicators in a language which can be understood by many ng mga kababayan natin sa Visayas at saka sa Mindanao. Kasi ang gagawin natin ngayon ay roll out ng RPMS PPST in Visaya version. But don't worry, I'll be hopping from English, Visaya, and Tagalog. Para din naman, we can cater all other viewers outside Region 10 and outside Visayas and Mindanao. Yun yung gagawin natin this morning. So, ayun. Sir Ralph, pa-share ako ng screen ko. Alam naman natin na dito sa DepEd right now, in the new landscape of DepEd, talagang lahat ng mga guro ay nagsistruggle. Silang lahat ngayon, tayong lahat ngayon ay nag-a-adjust. Be it na parang 2 years na rin tayo sa pandemic, but still we cannot discount the idea na talagang lahat ay talagang nangangapa pa. So what we're going to do right now is that we're going to assist our teachers in order for them to ensure that their performance sa dulo ng school year na ito ay talagang outstanding pa rin. So yun yung gagawin natin. So lahat ng mga viewers natin from Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao, handa na ba kayo para sa ating rollout for the RPMS PPST? This is now the part 2, a refresher, an enrichment, and discovery. Ayun po. Ako po si Sir Kaloy. You can call me Sir Kaloy at your service. Mga igsuon. Yes, sir.
Sir Kaloy, ito yung unang katanungan, Sir Kaloy. Pwede silang magtanong? Pwede ba silang magtanong? Yes. Mamaya?
Thank you po, Sir Ramon, for that. Talagang mahina yung audio ko pero naririnig naman po. Ang lahat po, if ever na meron kayong katanungan, meron kayong mga doubts, or meron pa din kayong mga dark clouds within your minds right now, I want you to chat it down dyan sa chat box. May it be you're watching in DepEd Philippines or in DepEd Region 10 webpage or fan page po. Please comment down your question. We'll try to respond and we'll try to answer it in a manner na talagang masusundan ng lahat ng mga viewers natin kung ano yung PPST RPMS Year 3 indicators. Mga igsuon, padayon, welcome mong tanan sa atong orientation for this morning. Ayan, so I'm seeing familiar faces here in DepEd Philippines, Region 10 Facebook page. They're commenting. Please, I'm requesting na unta, makakomenta, makapangutana ta din ha. We are asking all now the school heads, the teachers, the master teachers, raters and ratees, and even the supervisors to please chat in your question para matabangan na to ha. So kung unsa man gay nang inyong mga gina-question sa inyong una, all your queries, all your parang doubts in your mind, please shut it down sa atong kuan sa atong comment box. And then we're going to scroll siguro we're going to go through all the comments anytime later para atong marespondihan or atong matubag ang inyo ang mga queries. So as you can see, even those watching in Luzon, siguro you will have a difficulty in understanding kasi I'll be using Bisaya most of the time kasi we really have to work with this. Ang intention talaga namin is that we're going to help all our teachers from Visayas and Mindanao as long as they are Bisaya speaking. But don't worry, I'll try to adjust po. I'll try to make it sure na masusundan pa rin ng ating mga kababayan, even those na Bisayan speaking Filipinos, para tayo ay makatulong din ng mas maraming audience or para sa mas daghan ng mga tao. Okay, so the topics that we'll be doing for this morning are first, there are 3 things. First one is the mapping of PPST indicators. So titingnan natin ang lahat ng PPST indicators. Alam naman natin in the previous in part 1 of our RPMS rollout, we already have mentioned kung ilan yung RPMS, the PPST indicators sa buong yung buong RPMS talaga. So isa din yun, gagawa tayo ng mapping doon. Second is the importance of the completed 37 PPST indicators in the RPMS of teachers. Unsa ka importante? Nganong importante man siya? Because teachers would say, dalabot ko ba ang RPMS? Pwede mo ko di maminaw, pwede mo ko bahala na lang na sila din. Mga igsuon, we are doing this effort na masabtan ninyo, masundan ninyo kung unsang RPMS PPST because we don't want na kamo mismo in the long run will be compromised. Kay this RPMS PPST is not just an IPCRF related matter. It has something to do with our career someday. So isa na siya sa atong i-discuss karong buntaga mga igsuon. So watch out, later ato nang i-discuss. And also for the part 3, we'll be talking about the year 3 indicators. So, kining tulo ka butang, these 3 things ang ato ning i-discuss karong buntag, tagsa-tagsa, ato ning hinay-hinayon, ato ning i-chunk in achievable piece to ensure nga masabtan, masundan sa atong mga maestra. Okay. Mga igsuon, akong gipakita sa inyo karon, mao ni ang ato ang PPST indicators. If we're going to look at it, there are 7 domains. And each domain na ay mga strands. And these strands is equivalent to the indicators we have in IPCRF. So if we're going to count kung ilan lahat ang strands dyan, there are actually 37 indicators or 37 strands in our PPST or in the Philippine Professional Standards for Teachers. So mauni siya, ang Philippine Professional Standards for Teacher, based ato ang previous discussion is that this is actually the blueprint kasundan sa itong mga maestra for them to show kung unsa ang ilang trabaho, kung unsa ang dapat nilang trabahoon, or what are the things expected from them being a teacher. So diri nakaplat, diri nakalatag sa ato ang PPST. So as you can see, we are actually presenting to you a roadmap, a blueprint para ang tanan nga mga maestra would exactly know kung unsa gid ang ilang trabaho. Isip mga maestra sa Department of Education. May question. Sir, sa Department of Education na banikat para ra ba ni sa mga DepEd teachers? Of course, we encourage even those in the private schools, even those the owners of the private school to also embrace PPST. Ang ato laging purpose ani is that ang tanan nato nga teachers, ang lahat ng kaguruan natin sa buong Pilipinas are actually of the same standard and they are at par with those teachers abroad, with those teachers in the from the other countries. Ang atong gusto is ma-uplift ang standards sa atong pagtudlo, ang standards bilang usa ka teacher. Kanang itong when you go outside, when you go to the market, or even in any place, kung makabalo sila nga DepEd teacher ka, because of PPST, they would say, kana mo'y maestra, kana bright na siya, kay teacher na siya, kana kasaligan na siya, kuha na siya, karang dependable na siya, kay teacher na siya. So mao ni atong gusto i-mold, mao ni atong gusto ihubog, mao na nga atong gipakita, atong gipaila-ila sa tanan, kung unsa si PPST, kung unsa si Philippine Professional Standards for Teachers. So if you can see, kining PPST, it's not new. Di gini siya bago at all. It is being introduced way back in 2017. Pero, giwa siya gihurot og hatag, gihinay-hinay siya og release. Later on, you would see kung giunsa siya paghinay-hinay og release. Karon atay question, are the indicators in PPST used in IPCRF used in the IPCRF of the teachers? The answer is yes. Ang indicators nato sa PPST, ako na siyang gigamit nga indicator po dito sa IPCRF sa mga teacher nga naman. Kaya we want to ensure, kaya kini mo si PPST, kaya kini mo si IPCRF, as we can see, this is the karabitang measuring stick sa performance of sa ka-teacher sa usa ka tuig. So of course, you cannot just measure teacher kung sa bisan unsa lang, sa kung usa lay gusto nimo. 'Di ba kung ano yung gusto ng ng school head, do natin i-measure yung guro. So we don't do that. In DepEd, we are actually looking for ways to ensure alignment of everything. Mao na atong gibuhat is that we introduced PPST to the field. And later on, we aligned the IPCRF with the indicators of the PPST to ensure nga teachers are measured according to what they do and expected to do being teachers. Mao na itong gibuhat din na. So ang tubag ana is yes. Ang indicator sa PPST, gigamit na to sa IPCRF para sa mga teachers. Para again, usa ito, para ma-measure na to ang trabaho sa maestra according sa expected niya. Second is that we will have an alignment on the performance of the teachers based sa iyang blueprint as stated in the PPST. So those are the reasons nganong ato na siyang ginabuhat, nganong nay alignment. Of course, you would still say, katong mga viewers nato din nga murag naapay gamay nga understanding, kabitong gamay lang ang ilang understanding and even appreciation to PPST. They would say, ay palagi yan ay isang pabigat para sa mga guro. Problema gyapon na siya. Pabugat ra gyapon na sa teacher. Dugang-dugang lang na sa mga trabaho. Mga igsuon, that's a normal reaction. Don't worry. Wala ka na lain ana, wala ka na suko ana. Instead, we are here because of your comment. Kanang inyong mga suggestion, kanang inyong mga commentaries, we don't take it negatively. Instead, we take it positively para kita natay basihan sa atong buhaton nga action in the future. Unsang atong buhaton nga suporta para sa atong mga teachers. So mo na itong ginabuhat, we always want to listen to teachers. Kaya nga naman, ang atoang kliyente, ang atoang mga amo, mao ang mga teacher. So mao na, we always love to hear from you, mga teachers. Mo na karon mga panahon na akong gusto reiterate, if ever nga nakay question sa imong una dira related to RPMS PPST, please shut it down below para unya later on mangutana ko sa atong mga sa atong mga kauban diri nga host if ever na question nga nindot nga karabitong dako gid kaayo ang problema sa teacher para matabangan nato sila. Okay? So ayaw ka kuan ha. Ayaw ka lain. You can always drop your question din sa comment box or kung maulaw ka nga makita sa tanan ang imong comment, you can always PM that to me. So if you want to PM, please follow me. Di ba nang-commercial kagad? Follow me in my social media platform. Just look for Sir Caloy or Carlos Villamas III. That's one page. Carlos Villamas III or Sir Caloy Official. So kana siya nga itong mga fan page. So just message dito at itong tanawon ko sa imong pangutana and will try to answer it according kung unsa ang giingon sa ato ang mga issuances. Ug ato pong tabangan og clear ang kanang mga atong gikalibugan dinha sa atong ginauna, yung mga doubts natin. Hindi yung iba Bisaya yung nagamit kong term. Second question. Are the indicators in IPCRF keep on changing every year? The answer is no, it's not actually changing. Ato na ning i-discuss last year sa part 1, sa last time that we go live diri sa atong BigaTEN Region 10. Atin to. Ato na ning i-discuss not actually IPCRF is not changing every year. It's a big no. It is actually not changing. Instead, the 37 indicators of PPST is released gradually. Ginay-hinay o gawas. As you can see, and if you can remember it, in school year 2018-2019, Central Office released 12 indicators of IPCRF. 12 ilang release. But it was late in October nga na-release siya. So nahitabo is that ang tanang teacher wala siya ka-adjust kay bag-o man introduction man gito Mamagitoy ang first good nga release sa PPST indicators nga gi-align na to. Gi-align ang pag-release sa IPSRF nga aligned na to sa PPST. So ang tanang teachers tinuod adjust, tinuod na they go out to street, they shout nga murag this is pabigat. And then we really understand it. Kaya nga naman, late naman gud ang release. And also, wala pa siya orientation as to how we're going to do the PPST or the RPMS for teachers. Muna nga, nasabta na to. Muna in school year 2019-2020, we do a rerun. Atong gi-utro siya o play. So the same 12 indicators from school year 2018-2019, yeah, di ato siyang gigamit og utro sa 2019-2020. The same 12 indicators nga naman. Gusto na to nga nanay mastery, gusto na to nga komportable na si maestra, gusto na to nga ang katong mga indicators nga na-involve or na-release na to in school year 2019-2020 naa na sa heart, naa na sa appreciation sa maestra, nasundan na niya og ginahinay. And lo and behold, tinuod siguro dili 100% sa mga maestra naka-appreciate sa PPST, but most of the teachers are actually happy with the release of the RPMS PPST indicator year 1. Nga naman, tungod ato, daghan ang na-outstanding at the end of the school year. Nga naman, nganong daghan mang na-outstanding, it's because klaro kayong MOV. One of the best features of RPMS PPST is that klaro ang atong MOV. Unlike before, nga napadyapoy mga biases. Yes, we acknowledge nga naging mga biases that even those principles tungod kay duol to siyang kasing-kasing, mo to yung outstanding. Pero looking into the performance, wala. Diba? That is why with RPMS PPST, it's not about your feeling, but it's about kung unsa imong gisubmit nga MOV at the end of the school year. And also appraising the MOV according sa nakaplat dito nga connection gikan sa mga indicators. Wala ta naghatag or wala ta nag-introduce og MOV nga for the sake of compliance lang. But these MOVs, naagin siya verification. So mo po na, while we're doing the rollout, we realize in the submission na daghan na outstanding. Well, we're happy with that. Pero we also look into other side. Nganong daghan kayong na outstanding? Is it because daghan ang usara? Daghan ang MOV nga gigamit sa usara sa maestra, Miss Fats? Daghan ang gigamit sa MOV nga sa maestra nga daghan siya og gi-submit, or it's because siguro naapay butang nga dapat i-understand ang atong mga raters. So naputoy uban nga mga pangitabo ato. That is why when we do the second year, the rollout for the second year, that was before pandemic, we really go into how should rater appraise the MOVs submitted by the teachers. And we are successful to that. Out of 16 regions in entire DepEd, entire Philippines, na halos natuyukan ang tanan. Pero in March, suddenly na-stop siya. Anong na-stop man siya? It's because of pandemic. Prepared na unta ang year 2 indicators, but because of pandemic, we cannot just release an indicator nga si teacher mismo maglisod. Si teacher mismo ga-adjust pa man siya sa modality. So we are not adjusting the indicators. Instead, we are adjusting the MOV. Kaya nga naman, ang RPMS PPST indicator is actually very adaptive. Very karabitang muswak din siya kung unsa ang scenario, kung unsa ang gipangayo sa panahon. So muna ang kanindot sa RPMS PPST na to, very adaptive siya. So muna even pandemic, actually pandemic is a blessing in disguise for RPMS PPST because it's being tested. Na-test siya nga even pandemic DI, it will not stop PPST, it will not stop RPMS PPST. Instead, iyang gi-verify nga ang atong mga indicators are very adaptive to the situation. Na kini di ay pwede di ay mausara, pwede di nato siya magamit even during pandemic or very challenging moment or difficult time. So mo to siya mga igsuon. That's in school year 2019-2020. So muna, in year 2, school year 2020-2021, that was last year. Atong gi-introduce are 8 new indicators. If you can remember, we'll do a simple math. In the first year, we have 12 indicators. And in the second year, we release 8 new indicators. All in all, there are 20 indicators released in the field right now. So muna, kung tanaw na to, we compare the 20 indicators to the original PPST indicators, there are actually 37. So if you're going to look at it, na ay nabilin nga pila, there are 17 indicators left unreleased. That is why In year 3, gi-release na to ang last 17 indicators in order to complete the 37 indicators. Paspas kayo, no? I'm going to share to you those things. Wait sa Sir Ramon, pa-advertisement sa tagamay, basi na shout out dira or announcement kay na empty ang akong laptop, akong presentation kay na wala. Ayan.
Ayan, sige. Kadeped Kaloy, Kadeped Rada,
So
greetings
far,
muna tayo. Yeah, okay
so
lang
far
ba?
nasundan ba sa mga teachers? If ever nga nasundan na to mga teachers, please press the heart comment or reaction dinha sa to ang chat box. Whether you are watching in DepEd Philippines, you're watching in DepEd Region 10 Facebook page, or even in our personal account, please click heart comments or reaction para masundan na to. And also as said by our friends, please don't forget please don't forget to comment down below kung unsa nga atong mga doubts dinha. So Sir Ramon, so far kumusta man?
Well, maganda naman yung presentation natin, Sir Kaloy. Ikaw pa, di ba? Siyempre, expert ka dyan eh. I'm pretty sure naintindihan ng ating mga ng ating mga masugid na taga-subaybay mula apari hanggang hulo. Tama ba, partner?
Sir Kaloy, dapat mag-heart lang or mag-like. Dili pwede mag-mine.
Hashtag mahal. Ito, tinuod. No? Pwede i-mine? Bitaw. Kung
Kadeped
pwede
Kaloy,
ma-mine.
Kadeped
Bitaw, dili.
Rada.
Di pwede ma-mine kay masuko si mahal. Charing. Okay,
Speaking
mga
of
igsoon.
heart. Yeah, speaking of heart, pinadalhan tayo ni Sir June Swaner ng Division of Cagayan de Oro City ng 200 stars. Naku, maraming salamat, Sir June Swaner. Mula naman po sa Division of Cagayan de Oro, maraming salamat. Paano yan, direct? Okay. Balik na ba tayo, Sir Kaloy? Ayan yung kapatid ko. Greetings from Baltimore, Maryland. Thank you. Sige, meron pa ba direct? HRD, of course, sa aking family. HRDD DepEd Regional Office 10. Thank you very much. Mula kay Ma'am Shelly Lim. Jenny Flores Martizano, good morning, watching from Binunid, Demulugan National High School Division of Lanao del Norte. At mula naman kay June Pew, tama ba? Totoo? June Pew Neri Gloria, good morning, watching from Amoroso Elementary School, El Salvador City. Nagulat ako dun At saka mula naman kay LV Palrad, good morning everyone watching from Amoroso Elementary School, El Salvador City. Ikaw muna, partner.
Partner, marag kinanglan ka mag-antipara. We also say good morning to Visande Ray. Hi, Sir Juan and company. Good evening po. Watching from the city that never sleeps, New York City. And we also say hi to Ma'am Loida Canonigo. Good morning from Magsaysay National High School. And we have Ma'am Joy Morata Zamora. Good morning. Watching from Bukidnon National High School. And we also say hi to Roxanne Baculio Gaid. Good morning, watching from Amoros Elementary School. And Ai Corial. Good morning, Sir Kaloy from Maigo National High School. Good morning daw po. Pamain, ma'am.
Meron pa ba direct o doon tayo sa DepEd Philippines? Handa na ba tayo, Sir Kaloy? Balik na ba tayo?
Yes. Ayun po,
Ayan.
nakabalik na rin. Maraming salamat for buying time for me, no? Pasensya mga igsuon na empty gyud so ingon ani gid ang mga technical glitch na to, no. What we're doing right now is don't worry, padayon lang gid gyapon ta. Thank you sa pagsalo mo, ilami gid ang kinabuhi no nga nay mo salo nato. Thank you for that, Kadeped Rada and Kadeped Ramon for buying time for me. So makalaos na dayon ta. Okay mga igsuon, let's now continue. So dinhi na dayon ta. Okay. So as we can see, gikan ganina, from here, no, it's again, we would like to reiterate that it's not changing every year. Instead, it is gradually continued. The release of the 37 indicators are gradually continued. Gipadayon lang siya in order to complete. So these are the 37 indicators. So atong tanawon, ato siyang i-plot in a manner nga dali na to makita. So the red one there represents year 1. The green color there, the color green represent year 3. And the violet represent year 3. So na year 1, year 2, and year 3. Okay. So din yung nakita na to nga there are actually 12 indicators in year 1 released. Kung na siya nakita na to, no, na 12 ka indicators. In year 2, naatay nakita din ha. So as you can see, nakita nimo na ay ga-combine din ha nga mga color nga na ay red o na ay green. Ngano man na silang ga-combine man sila because they continued to be introduced in the same way din ha sa year 2. Mao na siya nga it continues to kanang to be released sa field. Munang na siya mix din ha na pero if you're going to look at it, ang green na to na color are only 8. So natay 8 new indicators in year 2, nahimo lang siyang 11. It's because 3 all the indicators gikan sa year 1 are repeatedly introduced in year 2. So now let's go to year 3. So this is not the year 3. As you can see, ang tanan nga nabilin, wala ginabili na kay ato na yung gi-take all. And look at it. Si year 1 indicator or si 1.1 indicator, this is actually the indicator katong application of knowledge of content within and across curriculum learning areas. Ato siyang gibalik gikan sa year 1, sa year 2, tama sa year 3. Ngano man? Because it is the prime task of the teacher to really connect all the things that you are teaching in the curriculum. O sa may purpose, nganong ato siyang gibalik-balik? It's because we want to let our student realize na what we are teaching, example, if we're teaching math, dili lang taga-tudlo og math. But actually, math is interrelated with that of English, with in science, in aralin, in other social sciences, interconnected sila. Muna ato yung gi-emphasize na we teachers will be able or should be able to connect what they're teaching to other learning areas for the purpose of letting the student realize na connected ni tanan. We are forming a paramurag kuan ba connection sa tanan nga learning areas nato. Kaya our learning areas are not independently put there. They should be interfacing with each other. Dapat naa sila connection, na sila connect sa tagsa-tagsa. And also, napon siya padayon gihapon, katong gihapon nga indicators ang duha, nagpadayon siya sa year 2, sa year 1 ug year 2 lang, but not existing in year 3. So if we're going to look at it, there are actually 17 new indicators, added one katong content knowledge of content within an across learning area. So nahimo for year 3, there are actually 18 indicators. Pero ang bago ana, only 17. So masyak na dayon ta. Kadagan ana sir. Uy, daghan man kayo sir, naglisod magay mi sa 12, naglisod magay mi sa 8, labaw na ning 17 ka book sir, naglisod na mi. Nganong gingon ani man sir? Mga igsoon ato nang klaro ko og maayo. The reason of its gradual release, first one, indicators of the PPST-based IPCRF is originally designed to be released for 3 years. Meaning, even before pag yun gawas ang pandemic, even before pag yun nahitabo ang tanan, sa original plan, 3 years yun i-release ang atong PPST indicators through the IPCRF. Nganong 3 years man, we want to ensure that there is a gradual release of these indicators para our teachers would have easy understanding and mastery about the indicators, and they're going to live it as teacher good in their daily service being teachers. Mo ni purpose nganong atong gi-gradually release ang IPCRF nato. Wa nato siya gikalit. So if we are to compare the previous standards or the competency standards of teachers, katong 200 plus indicators that we're using in the past, gi-release to siya insigida, gidungan siya sa tibuok tuig, sa tibuok panahon, gidungan nga 200 ka buok. If those time, katong atong mga teachers who were hired earlier in 2010, even I naka-experience ko atong previous na nga national competency-based standards sa being a teacher, atong gisundan ang 200 plus indicators, but we were not protesting. Wala mining reklamo ato. Kaya nga naman, we thought nga ingon ato gisang pag-release. So muna, in PPST indicators this time, natay new nga usara nga perspective. Nga atong gibuhat, despite nga 37 na siya kabuok, gihinay-hinay gihapon na siya og release. Nganong ginay-hinay man nato? Because this time, we want to ensure nga nasundan sa tanang teacher, nasabtan sa tanang teacher, ug ilag yung nabutang sa ilang kasing-kasing being teachers kung unsa gid ang ila ang trabaho, kung unsa ang ila ang sa ilang gi-expect nga unsa kung unsa ilang gi-expect nga tasks, and what are the things expected from them being teachers. Mauna siya ang rason. Maunang gi-release gid siya originally designed for 3 years. Ingon ana gid siya. So dili lang sabay nga natsambahan tungod kay pandemic mo nagikatulon nila, no. Originally designed 3 years gid siya. Second, smooth na gid unta ang pag-release nato sa RPMS, but because of that think context, not contests, context and challenges we encountered while we are releasing the RPMS PPST indicators na ay mga delay, certain delay sa pag-release niya. Pero dili kay nato siya ma-attribute nga atong o iriran kay ngano man. Instead na atay gibuhat nga mga adjustment. Like in year 1, we are asking for COTs or meaning 4 classroom observations para sa atong rater and ratee. But what we're doing this time is because of the challenging context and situation that we're facing, we are not asking for 4 COTs. Instead, duha na lang ka COT atong gipangayo. And we even make it simpler. Sa una kay giparis-paris na to karon ato siya gi-detail na to natay mga daghan nga options nga kini nga mga options nga mga MOVs are actually present inside the classroom. Dili ni siya kwaon ni teacher sa community. Dili ni siya kwaon ni teacher dito sa international training. Dili ni siya kwaon ni teacher dito sa bisan asa ni sa uban pa nga mga tawo. Kining mga MOVs that we're asking in RPMS PPST are actually documents inside the classroom. Sulod yun sa classroom. Mao nga nakita na to, we do adjustments. Kaya nga naman, challenging mo itong situation. Third one, in school year 2021-2022, the 37 PPST indicators shall be completed. Dapat makumpleto na gyud. Nganong dapat man nato siya ikumpleto? Unsay labot na ko, sir, kung makumpleto na siya, will it change my life? Lo and behold, mga igsoon, why should the 37 indicators be completed? So naatay daghan nga mga rason. First one, this is to uphold teachers' quality in schools and improve learning outcomes. Kaya nga naman, dini sa PPST, kuan yun, observation na agad ang observation nga quality observation ha. So meaning the observation we have in PPST RPMS for year 1 upat, for year 2 duha, and even this year, duha ra pud siya. So as you can see, we are not counting the quantity but the quality. Meaning kaupat ra ka obserbaran or kaduha ra ka obserbaran for certain years, like karon nga mga panahon kaduha ra ang observation. Kaduha ra siya di because kay gadali ta. But it's because kaduha siya because we want to ensure that we are not focusing or we are not giving premium sa quantity but instead sa quality. The less nga obserbaran ng maestra, the more siya makaprepare, the more siya makapangandam, and to ensure nga mas nindot ang iyang pagtudlo sa mga teacher. People would say, dapat kadaghan obserbaran si maestra, nganong kaduharaman. Mga igsoon, dili pasabot nga kaduhara ang giingon ni RPMS, kaduhara gid obserbaran si teacher. Meaning atong duha is that 2 rated observations. Duha ang rated observation ni teacher. Sir, pwede ba obserbaran si teacher o kadaghan? Pwede siya obserbaran, especially if you really want to help teacher. Again, reminders, mga rater, when we do the observation to teachers, we are not observing because we want just to get in or pop in sa ilang mga eskwelahan, sa ilang mga classroom. We observe because we want to help teachers. Muna yung purpose of observation. Dili kading sulod lang ta dito dahil nagtanaw-tanaw din ang uli. No. As raters, as observers, when you go inside the classroom of the teacher, you are expected to provide technical assistance. When we talk about technical assistance, it is not just enumerating the flaws. It's not just enumerating kung unsa tong problema ang imong nakita. Since nakakita kag problema, then give us the solution. Since nakakita kag mga flaws, then correct us, help us nga ato tong ma-refine, ato tong ma-correct. Kaya nga naman, ikaw may nakakita sa sayop, so basically, you exactly know kung saan siya pagsakto. Ingon ana ang call na to mga usara, mga raters, mga observers, and also for teachers pod, from the TA nga gihatag ni principal, ni supervisor, or even ni master teacher or head teacher, from there we learn. Ato gitong dapat katunan. Dili pwede nga, kana siya, sige naman na siya panaway na ako, sige naman na siya pamantay na ako, mga igsuon, let's stop that kind of thinking. Dili pwede nga magnilabayay na lang ta dinhi permente. But this time, we need to start working together. Ang comment ni leader, ang comment ni master teacher, ni head teacher, ni principal, take it positively, i-process na siya, and try to apply it in your next observation, in your next teaching. Again, we are doing this not because we want to be observed, not because we want to get good ratings, but we are doing this observation and we are doing this refinement para sa karason for our learners. Kana gyud mga igsuon, balikan gyud nato na siya nga reason. All these things are done for our learners. All these policies are done to ensure that there is a smooth flow of teaching, learning process or the learning teaching process. Dapat smooth ang flow ana, seamless ang flow ana niya. Magpadayo na siya mo ginay purpose na to. So muna mga igsoon, let's try to clear our mind. What we're doing in our PMS PPST is really to support teachers and the master teachers, the school heads and the teachers. We want to support them both for the purpose of providing quality service to our clients, which are the students. Mo gina siya permente mga rason na we are not giving this para mapugatan ka. We are giving this para kitang tanan mo lambo ug dungan. Second reason, teacher be assessed only with what they do and expected to do as teachers as defined in PPST. I had been stating this all over again, gadigikan pa ganina, nga ang purpose ng sa PPST is to provide blueprint, is to provide kanabitang perspective kung unsa gid ang expected nga trabaho ni teacher bilang isang guro, bilang teacher, ano yung expected na task niya. And this is what we're doing right now. We would like to assess teachers. We would like to gauge teacher. We would like to measure teachers' performance based on what they do and expected to do, being teachers. So ikatulong rason is that we will now have full picture of teachers' performance as input to the professional development intervention. So as you can see, kung kompleto na ang 37 indicators na to, nanatay full picture. Mas klaro na ang picture na to kung unsaon din nato pagtabang ang mga teacher. Nga naman, if we're going to look at it, as I'm saying it sa ako alang sa akong perspective, as I look at it, once makompleto na ang 37 indicators, siguro daghang programs may tabo. First one is the assessorship. Siguro makita na to nga, maka-identify na to mga pool of experts, which is actually expected sa usa ka eskwelahan, nga naatay pool of experts. Meaning, kini pool of experts, they are the teachers who are good in a certain topic. Example, if you are good in English, dapat maka-identify ta ng pool of experts. And also, if those are nine mga teachers who are good in math and even in other learning areas, dapat natay directory anana that these are the people who are the pool of experts. We call them pool of experts. And also, there are some teachers, dili pasabot manggod nga, because we are very good in mathematics, we are already good in other subject, in learning areas. Mauna siya nga naaputang mo nag-identify na to ang pool of experts because they are the ones to help assist the principal in supporting those teachers who need assistance, who needs support, who needs learning and development intervention. So karon ang mahitabo diya is that sa eskwelahan pa lang daan with the 37 indicators, we would know kinsa tong pwede mo tabang o kinsa tong tabangan. Mao na siya ang purpose. As you can see, di ba, noble kayong intention to help and be helped. Ingon ana ang purpose atong RPMS PPST. This is not to identify kisa tong di kabalo o kisa tong kabalo. It's not just that. Ang atong yung purpose is kinsa tong tabangan because we're there. Ato nang nakita kisa tong tabanganan. Since nakita nimo kisa tong tabanganan, then what are you going to do next? And that is to provide assistance. And that is to provide intervention para sila tanan mulang buog dungan. So nindot, the purpose or baga ang direction when we look at it, ang purpose ng gid-ani is that all of us will grow together while we are staying in the Department of Education. Kay mo man na ang trabaho gyud sa ato being school leaders, being those people who are in the HR, who are practicing human resources, di ba? We want to ensure that all our personnels are karabitang developed in their maximum potential. Kay para kitang tanan mahimong productive and contributory para sa progress sa tuang departamento. And last reason is this one, to prepare teacher for the implementation of the new system, career progression for teachers, and the competency-based reclassification process. Diba? Mangutana din ko karon. Sir, unsay labot na ko sir, unsa din ang new system career progression sir for teachers? Unsa din na kalabot man ako na teacher? Mga igsuon ato ni siyang sultian sa Binisaya. Atong gi-prepare ang teacher para sa bag-o nga pamaagi para kita tanan ma-promote. Nga kitang tanan will not retire as teacher 1. All of us will retire as distinguished teacher. Diri na din mosulod if I don't know if you remember katubitaw na mga proposal that you've been hearing nga na teacher 1, teacher 2, teacher 3, teacher 4, 5, 6 and 7. Nakadungog mo ato nga na teachers 1 to 7 na. And also na po tay master teachers 1, karon magud kay tama na sa master teacher 4. We are now opening master teacher 4. Eventually, pag makompleto na yung 37 indicators, and this school year is the fulfillment para makompleto ang 37 indicators, then all this program will start to propel. Magsugod na dayon ni siya ugran. Sir, unsa din na imong giistorya, sir, nga how is the new system for career progression for teachers look like? Mga igsoon, in the near future, if we want to be promoted, if we are to promote to be promoted from one rank to the next rank, we will be following these three aspects. First one is the Civil Service Commission approved qualification standards. So meaning, na qualification standards si civil service nga ato yung sundan. Nga naman, kay mo gini ang giset niya. So tanang professions dili lang sa DepEd but all government offices, si CSC gagawas na siya qualification standards nga mao ni siya ang mga minimum qualifications to be met para to ensure na teacher will be promoted or will advance to the next level. So that's one parameter for promotion. The second thing is the PPST-based performance requirement. So ako po ning ipakita niya unsa din ning pasabot sa performance based requirements. And the third one is the PPST-based selection process. So naay selection process. So sir, meaning sir, di dapat ma-promote automatically. Wala tay kanang even in other agencies in the Philippines, we don't have that automatic promotion. We really do a parang selection process. This is to ensure nga naagyoy karbitang merit and fitness mahatag yun siya properly to those personnel nga atong tawagon na lang for everyone nga dali masabtan promotable. Gusto na to nga we will be able to promote only the promotable personnel, meaning katong dapat nga nagserbisyo, katong nagtrabaho og sakto, katong nagbuhat sa sakto nga trabaho, they should be the ones to be promoted, not those nga well na mag yung mga di ba chances in your context siguro. I don't know with your context nagi mga pauban nila nga natayuban ng mga kauban nga na promote because of their some special moves, mga hokage moves nila. So kato siya mo tatong i-prevent karon the biases in the promotion. We want to ensure that only the promotables will be promoted to the next position. So ato ning tagsa-tagsa og tan-aw ang tulo. Though this has been discussed in some of the forums or some of the fora that we have in DepEd Philippines, ato na po ding na-discuss ang career progression, and even these RPMs are being discussed. But what we're doing right now, this is actually a rollout para ang tanan makasunod, para ang tanan would realize nga these are simple ways, simple nga pamaagi para masabtan ang usa ka programa. Okay, let's look into the Civil Service Commission approved qualification standards. Okay. So when the 37 indicators are completed, musulod na dayon si teacher 1 to 7. So a teacher 1 will receive a salary grade 11 and a teacher 2 until 5 will receive salary grade 12, 13, 14, and 15. Sa next slide ang uban ha. Pero atong tanawon gyapon. So a teacher 1 para ma-promote siya og teacher 2, mo niyang qualification. Degree, a bachelor's degree in education or any bachelor's degree with 18 professional units of education. Diba? So meaning, should I have a master? Para teacher 1, ma-promote og teacher 2, dapat na ba ko'y masters based sa CSC approved qualification? Wala. Wala siya gi-require din ha. Instead, ang gipangayo lang nato is that graduate siya sa education, or kung dili magi siya graduate sa education, at least na siya 18 units nga education kay para ma-promote siya to teacher 2. Sigunan ang gikinahanglan niya, and then in trainings 8 hours lang ang gipangayo. Then pag man sa teaching experience, 1 year nga teaching experience. So sir, bago ba ni siya sir? No, it's not new. Existing na siya until now. So meaning kani ako day sir kay na-hire man ko last year. Din nag 1 year na ko sir sa teacher nga teacher sir sa DepEd. Pwede na ko mo-apply diri siya og teacher to sir? Yes, pwede na siya. Sir, ma-promote na dayon ko sir. Dili kay napamantay tan-awon nga uban pa nga matter. Kung atong tan-awon siya, pwede na ka mag-apply for ranking. But the promotion, it's another matter. Kaya napamagoy uban nga qualifications nga atong sundon based na sa atong existing karon nga policy ha. Pero when we talk about the minimum qualification na achieve na nimo, na meet na nimo. Sir, pwede ba na ako magamit akong experience sa private school being a teacher para experience? Yes. Pwede nimo siya magamit kay ano man ang gibutang dinhi is 1 year teaching experience as a full-time basis. So meaning, wa siya diingon nga dapat sa public school lang. pwede bisan sa private school, pwede nimo na gamiton. But of course, you need to get in as entry position si teacher 1, especially pag sa elementary ka mag-apply. Also in the secondary, except sa senior high school. Kaya naa sila unique nga dynamics in the hiring. Okay, so that goes with teacher 2, teacher 3, teacher 4, and teacher 5. So gusto na ko i-focus ang teacher 4. Sa pag ma-release na gani ang 37 indicators, unsaon man sa teacher 3 nga mo-move siya padung sa teacher 4. Mo niyang gipangayo. First is that bachelor's degree in education or any bachelor's degree with 18 professional units in education. So meaning, kailangan bang masters? Dili pagyapon kailangan og masters. Ang kailangan lang is that naa kay 18 units nga education or at least ding graduate ka as bachelor's degree in education. So pwede ka mo-promote from teacher 3 to teacher 4. Karon sir, pila man ka trainees ang gikailangan? Ang gikailangan lang nato is 16 hours training or training in any of or an aggregate of the following. Dapat na ay curriculum, pedagogy, or specialization within 3 years. So meaning aggregated siya. Meaning nakakuha ka og 16 hours nga training within sa 3 years nga imong gigrupo ba? Imong gitotal siya nga within these 3 years dapat nakakuha ka og 16 hours nga dapat ang content sa training has something to do with curriculum, pedagogy, or subject specialization. Example ni apil ka og training in mathematics. So kato siya imo tong i-add. So sir, pwede ba nga kung giatinan sir karon kay na ako'y 18 hours nga training on mathematics. Then ang next training nako sir ang 9 hours nga training sa mathematics. Then sir, akong next nga training is 9 hours po sa pedagogy. Pwede na ko siya i-combine sir? Yes, pwede naman siya i-combine. If you want to be promoted from teacher 3 to teacher 4. But again, isa mo pang-apply karon, kaya pa man po teacher 4, o pa man nato na kompleto, kaya pa man to na human ang tuig, basin ba pa man nagkuha na mo papel dira kay mga submit na mo sa HR again, wala pa ni karong adbulan na ha. Mag-release ra si DepEd Central Office kung kanus mag-start nga na nag-teacher 4, mga igsoon. So go back sa experience. Pila man ang experience nga ipangayo, sir? 3 years. Sir, pasabot ba ni sir 3 years as teacher 3 or 3 years as teacher? 3 years as teacher. Even your teaching experience sa private school, counted to siya sa 3 years. So sir, possible siguro sir nga, gikan ko sa teacher 1, mulukso ko teacher 4, tanawo na to later. Pero kung basehan na to ang civil service nga qualification standards, pwede kayo. Pero when we talk about promotion, ato po ning i-qualify ning PPST-based performance requirement and PPST-based selection process. So ato po nang i-discuss later on ha. Okay, so sa man nga eligibility ang kailangan, pwede imong RA 1080 for the elementary and secondary. So kana siya ang mga requirements. And also to proceed, napunta din sa ato ang teacher 6 and teacher 7. So if you can see, ang teacher 1 karon karon ha sa current setting, ang teaching position is teacher 1, 2, and 3. After that, master teacher na dayon. So what if sa inyong eskwelahan walay bakante nga master teacher? What if inyong eskwelahan gamay ra mo? So what will happen? So ang teacher 3 dili maka-move sa master teacher kaya naman vacuum man ang diri sa tunga-tunga. So mauna, the best teachers are forced to apply for a principal position to head teacher position. It's because they are not moving forward. Tungod kay way bakante nga master teacher. So that is why DepEd Central Office, the HR, the BHRO, is thinking of possible ways in order to ensure nga dili ma-vacuum ang professional or ang career path sa usa ka maestra. Like even if I'm a master teacher, I can still move to teacher 4. I mean, if I am a teacher 3, I can still move to teacher 4, teacher 5, teacher 6, and teacher 7. So if you're going to look at it, ang teacher 7 is salary grade 18. So meaning kini nga salary grade 17. Ang teacher 7 is receiving a salary grade 17. So meaning ang next nga salary grade is 18. So that is master teacher position. So di ba? Nakita na to, wala na vacuum sa position. Nag-move na siya from teacher 3, butangan og teacher 4, 5, 6, 7, kay para ang isa ka teacher will not wait for the master teacher to retire, will not wait for that position to be vacant. di na po siya magampo nga unta mabakante na nga posisyon. Kaya nga naman, we have teacher 4, 5, 6, and 7 awaits para ma-cater ang iyang professional growth and development. So karon mo tanaw din ta, sir, ang teacher 7 ba sir, unsa may gi-require niya sir? Mo niyang gi-require. First is bachelor's degree in terms of education ha, bachelor's degree in education or any bachelor's degree with 18 units or professional units in education. Question, kailangan ba og masters? Dili gihapon kailangan og masters. Dili nang kinahanglan og masters para ang teacher 1 ma-move to teacher 7. Ang kailangan lang niya is iya ang degree as graduate sa education or nasa degree or bachelor's degree in education or any degree nga nasa 18 units nga 18 units sa education. So mo to requirement. So wala pa gyud nang kinahanglan og masters dinhi. Ala sir, pwede na ko ma-promote again based sa CSC qualification standards, pwede na ka mo qualify na ka to apply. Pero atong tanawon gyapon ng duha later on. Kay excited na gyud kayo no, na feel lagi na ako nga excited na kita nang maestra ma-promote. What we're doing basi matingala mo, sir ding liko na lagi ta PPSC karon ni adto ta sa promotion because we want to build alignment. We want to build ang katubitong bridge kung unsa day connect sa RPMS, PPST padulong sa promotion sa maestra. Because the more nga dili magud masabdan sa teacher, kung unsa ka importante ang RPMS silang kinabuhi, kung unsay implication ani silang promotion, they would not appreciate it. Mo na we're showing this to you, this connection nga gimo dang IPCRF karon is not just an IPCRF but it has a strong connection sa imong future promotion. Mao na atong gusto i-build karon mga igkaigsuunan para masundan natong tanan. Okay, now let's go to the master teacher karon. For a master teacher 1, ingon siya dinhi na din mo sugod. If you are a teacher 1 or even teacher 3 or even a teacher 7, kung mugawas na teacher 7, if you want to apply for a master teacher position, mauna siya nga panahon nga mag-require na siya og master's degree in education or educational leadership or educational management or relevant learning area. So meaning, dili na gi-require ang masters. So if ever you want to apply for a master teacher position, dili na din mosulod ang master's degree kanang mo eskwela ta, mag-masters ta para ta mo qualify based sa CSA approved qualification standard. But of course, if you're going to look at it, mo backtrack ko gamay, mas nindot sa karon kung nanay teacher 1 to 7. Kaya nga naman, those teachers who cannot afford, it's because of gamay nga sweldo, being teacher 1, gamay siya og sweldo para mag-eskwela og masters. So we are giving, DepEd is giving you a teacher 1, 2, 3 taman sa 7 position for you to prepare for your education. If kulang man ganito imong sweldo, if you think na kulang siya, nga kulang imong sweldo to enroll yourself to a master's class, so mao na nga natay teacher 7 nga gi-prepare para you will be receiving a salary grade 17. So that's more likely mga more or less 40,000 na siya, di ba? That you are still a teacher. Pero you will be receiving currently ha, sa karon nga sa panahon, murag 40,000 na siya nga sweldo. So enough na guro na siya para ka maka-enroll, para mo prepare na po ka, para mo master teacher ka. Mo ni ang kanindot karon. Ang teacher 1 is receiving salary grade 18. Ang master teacher 2 is receiving a salary grade 19. Di ba? Ang master teacher 3 is receiving a salary grade 20. A master teacher 3 master teacher 4 is receiving a salary grade 21. And master teacher 5 is receiving a salary grade 22. Atong tan-awon ni siya sa sakto nga perspective. Meaning, if you are a good teacher, karon magusa na hitabo, ang katong mga best teachers na to are migrating from classroom to school leadership to supervision. Kaya nga naman gusto sila ma-supervisor. It's because pamati nila, mo na to ila ang murag bitaw karang murag it's the end of the line. It's the trap. Kumaga na-end na siya kay master teacher 2 na ko din ako maka-move up. Dili mga igsoon. That is why we're creating master teacher 5. It's because we want to ensure that the best teachers are kept in school. Ang katong mga pinakamaayo na itong mga teacher will not migrate to school leadership but instead they will stay inside the classroom. Nga naman, even if they are a teacher, they are receiving a salary grade 22 equivalent na siya sa supervisor nga posisyon. Kaya nga naman, ang supervisor position are receiving salary grade 22. O diba? Nakita nimo ay managing my students. Pila ni kabata? Mga siguro, ibutang na to, 45 kabata or 50 kabata per se. 50 kabata. Ako teacher, 50 ka bata, kining 50 ka bata, kung ako ning sigaag mata, mahilom ra ni sila. Kung ako ning take your seats, manglingkod din sila. Pero kung principal ka, or kung supervisor ka, itry gug siga imong mata ni mga maestra, sigaan pug ka og balik. So if you're going to look at it, mas nindot karon ang relay karon sa DepEd karon. We want to keep best teachers inside the classroom. Kaya nga naman, we want them to teach, we want them to develop more students. Di na to sila gusto nga mobalhin sila sa administration unless they want to, unless it's their choice to move from being a master teacher to principal 1 or principal 2 or kung sa nga position, wala po gastap nila. But of course, we would want to elevate their salary para of course, dili sila bitaw ma-promote by force, di sila ma-promote because they don't have the option. Ni-promote sila because they want to be a principal. But for those principals, there are actually principals I know. Ako po, daghan gyud sila karon. There are a lot of principals nga akong gina-interview and even kailan ako nga they would not want to be a principal. They still want to be a master teacher. Problema kay master teacher 2, ra ang position nga available silang eskwelahan. So of course, they want to be greener pasture para silang pamilya, para silang future mo na nga nag-move sila nga to principal or even to supervisor kay mas dakong sweldo. So mo na siya nga we don't want that to happen. We want to give more options para sa itong mga maestra. So if they really love teaching and they really love their students and they really love to be inside the classroom, then we don't want to force them to go out from gikan sa classroom para makadawat og salary grade 22. We will offer a position that would give them a salary grade 22 equivalent sa principal 4, equivalent sa supervisor nga position para these best teachers will stay inside the classroom. So muna siya ang qualification, CSA approved qualification standards. In the near future, once we complete the RPMS 37 indicators. Mao to siya ang first parameter. Now let's go to the second parameter. O man tanong kung na-meet nimo ang mga minimum qualification, diri dayon ta. Pag na-meet na mong CSC, second layer na din ta sa pag-move. So para sa teacher 1, ingon ani ka importante ang RPMS PPST. If you can remember in your IPCRF, we are talking about proficient indicators or teachers using proficient tools and highly proficient tools, di ba? For master teacher, they're using the highly proficient, and for the teacher 1, 2, and 3 are using a proficient tool, engaging themselves by default for now. Kaya pa man na-complete ang 37 indicators. So for a teacher 1, to be promoted to teacher 2, ang gikinahanglan lang niya is that at least sa 10 ka proficient indicators, sa 12 proficient indicators, at least 10 ana VS. Sir, what if sir na ako'y 8 ka VS dayon 2 ka outstanding? Counted ba to siya sir nga from T1 mo move ko T2? Yes. Kaya ang giingon man at least VS. So it doesn't mean nga ato nang i-discount si outstanding. Kaya naman, si outstanding is higher than VS. So muna, di ba? So ingon ani ka importante mga igsuon. That is why I'm always keep on saying na ayaw i-allow gyud. I make sure nga nagtrabaho gyud ang mga sulod sa classroom. We are performing well because we don't want teachers be rated as satisfactory. We don't want teachers be rated as below satisfactory. Pero of course, we cannot do otherwise, especially for those employees who are not working, who are not working religiously. Mao na nga natapuan na force gyud sila og na tagan gyud sila og below satisfactory or even satisfactory, mao na nga luoy. Kay in the near future, we will be counting the number of indicators nga VS ka or outstanding ka because it would trigger your promotion. Mga igsuon, I am giving this to you, we are giving this information to you because we don't want you to be compromised in the near future. We want teachers to be promoted. Muna maminaw ta mga igsuon, unta na appreciate nato ni siya. So tanaw na to. For teacher 3 to become teacher 4, ang gikailangan niya is 37 indicators at least VS. Diba? At VS position are very satisfactory. So meaning, if I am now teacher 3 and I want to be promoted to teacher 4, dapat sa 37 different indicators ha, dili pwede nga tulo ka indicator nga 1 katubi tong content knowledge and pedagogy, tulo man to VS. So katong tulo ako tong gihap nga 1 2 3 no. Kato kay same to silang indicator counted as 1 na to siya. So dapat 37 different indicators ang imo ang VS nga kuan para for you to qualify from T3 padulong sa teacher 4, and so on. Now let's go to teacher kay mo man ni ang mga milestone good. Let's now go to teacher 7. If the teacher 7 wants to be promoted as master teacher, ang giingon niya sa imuang COI, di ba natin gitawag na classroom observable indicators. Naputi giingon nga NCOI, non-classroom observable indicators. So now we go back to our ITCRF. If I am a teacher 7 and I want to be promoted as master teacher, ang giingon dito is that for that siguro scope of time, siguro 3 years or 4 years or even 2 years, if nakakumpleto na ka sa imong 37 indicators, which I see nga murag difficult kumpletohon ang 37 indicators in 2 years, at least siguro 3 years, kung nakita nimo nga in your classroom observable indicators na nakay 18 nga outstanding, again ha, 18 nga na-ratean siya og outstanding sa imo ang classroom observable indicators, and 16 proficient nga indicator nga non-classroom observable indicators, at least VS, kung na kay 18 o naa na kay 16. Kini sila, if we are going to combine them, pwede na ka makamove or na-meet na nimo, then you are now qualified nga mo apply ka from teacher 7 to master teacher position. So as you can see, in the second layer, the PPST-based performance requirement, we will be counting the indicators nga ato ang nalikom, ang atong natigom sa panahon nga we are staying in DepEd while we are teaching. Ato ana siyang ipon. Ang purpose ana is makasunod ta. Ang purpose ana is that aware ta ba nga these indicators are not just indicators for nothing. These indicators has something to do with my possible promotion in the future. Munang dapat ginato ni ibutang sa kasing-kasing ug una-una that we are not doing this for the sake of compliance, but we are doing this for us to be promoted. And of course, dito kalimtan akong giyon ganina, for our learners. Diba? Kaya nga naman, if our intention man good is to really improve and karabitang develop our learners kanang holistically, then basically all these things will just fall in their exact places. Mahulog rin sa sakto nila nga mga lugar, and we don't have to effort so much. Kaya nga naman, what we're doing is for our learners, and what we're doing for our learners could contribute and attribute to our possible promotion in the future. So that's 2. Now we'll look into the PPST-based selection process. Unsaon day pag-select, unsa day percentage sa ranking, sir. Singon ani siya mga igsuon. So for us to be promoted from one position to the next position, atong basihan, first one, education, that is 10 points. Next one, NAIAP accredited training. So mauna, this time, you are not just to attend training for the sake na maka-attend kong training, kaya para makasubmit ko, dapat NAIAP accredited training. Only katong mga accreditors or service provider nga accredited sa NAIAP, katong ilang certificate mo ora to'y dawaton sa DepEd. So as you can see, basin mauwata ba, na yung mga service provider nga, they are attaching a kinang NAIAP accreditation. Pero we need to look into the title of the NAIAP accreditation. Kaya naman guna sa specific dito nga authorization and even kuan kanang accreditation kuan scheme nga i-specify gid ang title. So kung unsa tong title nga na-specify dito sa NAIAP accreditation, maora to ang accredited. Kung dili gani haom ang title nga imong giapilan dito sa lang accreditation, do not join that training. Kaya nga naman, it will not be used in your promotion. But of course, we're not just going into training for us to be promoted. We join into training because we want to be developed further. But of course, mas nindot man nga ma-develop ta further. At the same time, we can also be promoted using those documents. So muna, we need to be very keen. We need to be very clever kung unsa nga training atong apilan. Kaya basig daghan ta giapilan nga training pero kini ang tanan dili mapuslan sa pag-abot sa sakto nga panahon. Next one. The third parameter for our promotion is the experience. So it might be in months or in years, the experience that exceed the quality qualification standard shall be given corresponding points. So gi-exceed. So meaning, kung ang gi-required dito is 4 years, tagaan na ba din ka og 4 points? Dili. Ang iyang pasabot dito, kung gipangayo sa imo ang sa CSC QS or qualification standard is 4 years, din imong service na himong 5 years, katong sobra nga 1 year, mautoy tagaan og points. Kaya nga naman, kining imong 4 years, mo ni ang minimum qualification. Then why would we give the score to the minimum qualification nga mo man ni ang basihan? Ang atong hatagan og score katong ning sobra The same with education. Ang gipangayo is 18 units lang nga education or graduate, pero may masters man ka na kay 12 units. So katong 12 units, even if 12 units ra na, tagaan na siya og gamay nga puntos. Kaya nga naman, ang points na to katong tanan is katong ning sobra sa qualification standards set by the civil service, motoy tagaan og score. Motoy tagaan na to og puntos. Mao na siya nga it's very important gihapon nga we go kana bitang extra mile kung unsa gipangayo. So dili lang gid ta mo settle kung unsa tong gipangayo minimum dili lang ko sa minimum. No, we need to exceed kay ngano man ang sobra karon ang ratingan dili ang katong sakto lang. Ha? Next, let's go to the performance. So on performance, diba, as we can see, when we talk about the performance, that's IPCRF. When we talk about IPCRF, dado siya bugat kaayo nga connect dito sa tong RPMS PPST. And that is 30 points. Diba? Tanawa paminawa mga igsoon. Katong tulo dito tanan education, niyap training and experience, though of course we cannot discount them, pero tag 10 points. Pero ang atong experience, ay atong ang performance, that is 30 points if ever. Di ba mo nang nindot yun nga maka-outstanding ta. People would say, ay okay mo ko ma-outstanding. Mga igsoon, dili pa sabot nga outstanding ka, dako na ka dito score. Kaya nga naman, namang 4.5 nga outstanding, that's the lowest outstanding rating. Napamugot tayo 4.6, 4.7, 4.8, hantod may mukang 5. If you can make it to 5, nga na perfect yun mo imong trabaho, being a teacher, then go for it. If you think you're perfect, nga nasakto gid karong tuiga. But if you think you are not perfect, pero you perform well man pod, in connection dito sa with respect dito sa IPCRF na to nga indicators, then by all means ayo gid pangayo kanang okay ra ko ma-outstanding sir bala gamay or VS lang sir, ayaw gyud pangitag pa magi nga ma-outstanding ka because that is 30 points sa to ang promotion in the near future. Ingon ani pagid ang kanindot kay ngano man part of our promotion is that we will be considering the classroom observation indicator assessment and the non-classroom observable indicator assessment. So meaning, ato nang misuron karon i-measure na nato ang classroom observation nimo, ang katong giunsa ka pag-observe, katong rating nimo sa COT, obserbara na to siya. And also, ay imong portfolio nga gisamit, diba, sa katapusan sa tuig, every end of the year, we submit our RPMS portfolio. Mga igsuon, we would like to request you nga please keep a copy of your IPCRF portfolio. Ayaw sa ilabay, kinara ba tayo mga tendency karon nga, man naman kong rating, ipanglabay na, ibutang na sa kilid, kuhaon to mga sulod, kato na lang dayong folder, kay gamiton sunod tuig. Ayaw mga igsuon, keep a copy of it. Kaya naman, sa promotion, balikon to sa og tanaw. Kung unsa pa mong gisubmit nga mga non-classroom observable indicators, giunsa to sila pag-rate, kung unsay rating niya, naapod siya rating, na siya kalabutan, it has a connect, it has a relationship dito sa imo ang possible promotion in the future. And that is 15 points. Imong classroom observation, imong COT rating, that is 25 points mga igsuon. So as you can see, if you're going to look at it, teachers are now promoted according to their work, not because may ni siya mga hatag og tupperware, may ni siya mga hatag og litson. Wala na ang mga igsuon. We want to eradicate, we want that idea, that biases be taken out from the system. We want to ensure nga ang katong kuan, nga ang katong katong performance bitaw sa teacher, being a teacher yun, mao gid tong mahatag, mao gid to i-rate na to accordingly ang atuang mga teacher according sa ilang trabaho. So muna, it's very important nga we need to be very kanang conscious and we need to be very aware about our possible promotion in the future. Dili na to pasagaan lang mga igsuon. So karon, nakita na ba nato kung unsa ka importante ang nganong dapat ikumpleto na ang RPMS PPST indicators and 37 indicators nganong dapat na siya makumpleto, nganong importante kayo. So it's because naa siya kalabutan, it has a parang contribution to your possible promotion in the future. Munang dapat gid siya og importante gid siya as teachers nga dapat nato na masabtan. I understand that we had already a rollout about this atong DepEd Central Office, but we also understand that not all of us were able to watch that rollout. We're not able to witness that rollout. And also, if we witness it, siguro wala to nasundan, it's because we're doing a lot of stuff being teachers. When igsuon, we are doing this to reiterate the importance of having a completed 37 PPST, RPMS, PPST indicators be released. Nganong dapat na yun siya kompleto na kay ingon ana siya ka-importante. Okay. Now let's go for questions, Sir Ramon. Ka-DepEd Paolo and ka-DepEd Rada. If we see some questions in the screen or in chat box, basin na ha?
Yes, Sir Kaloy, meron tayong nahagilap na katanungan mula kay Aleli Faith Leiritana. Sir, naabata separate classroom observation tool rating para sa video lesson? Salamat sa
Very
tubag.
good. That's a very nice question. Actually, kana siya nga question din, Sir Ramon. It's very kanang enticing, especially for those teachers who are right now serving in the RBI and TBI. Nagina siya i-connect kaayo. Ma'am Alili, I'm going to respond on that later on. Kay excited ba? Na-feel na ko kay excited ang mga teacher karon kanahagi sila makakaton kung unsa ang dynamics sa atong bag-o nga kuan sa di isa bag-o but in the year 3 RPMS PPST indicator. So that's a good question. We'll try to park it kay di nato gusto nga kuan sa ikalit o gusto ra introduce para sa tanan. Do we see any other questions, Sir Ramon? Katong based atong mga previous natong presentation.
Meron Sir Kaloy share lang ni Direk. Oo. Tingnan natin kung ano itong katanungan at mula kanino. Ayan. Sige, unahin ko na siguro habang prepare. Ayan, mula kay Imelda Espirito. Sir, what will happen to the head teacher item?
O, di ba? Ang kanindot sa itong, what's good about our activity this time, Sir Ramon, is it triggers a lot of question. Kaya nga naman, we touch magod promotion. We touch magod the karang possible teacher 1, 2, 3 positions. Mga igsuon, Ma'am Imelda, my friend, this question has something to do with the career progression. Do na ano yung mga mga introduction on this dito sa DepEd Central Office. Pero in this gathering, we cannot touch so much on that. Though I have a little knowledge of it nga na realignment or renaming of our position. Pero on the details, don't worry. What we're going to do, ang kanindot ani Ma'am Imelda, is that you're giving us input nga this could be a good topic, Sir ka-DepEd Paulo and ka-DepEd Rada. This would be a good topic for our future kanang BigaTEN episode. Kaya nga naman murag, di ba? Murag karang eager kayo mga teacher to participate when it has something to do with their promotion, when it's something to do with career progression. So we are going to include that in our next topic, Ma'am Imelda. Thank you for that suggestion. I'm taking it na parang that topic.
Yeah. Sir Kaloy, personal na ko ni siya nga question, Sir Kaloy. Curious lang ko. Di ba, na-mention mo ganina, no? This is part of instructional supervision. Na-mention mo ganina nga kanang the teachers will be assessed based on what they do and expected to do as defined in the PPST. Pwede ba, Sir Kaloy, for example, di ba naman tagatawgon sa instructional supervision nga pre-conference. Halimbawa, pwede ba nga ako teacher mag-express ko nga, ma'am, sir, na ako'y gusto magud i-showcase nga strategy. Pwede nga dinhi ko nimo dapita obserbahan. Pwede ba sa daingon ana, Sir Kaloy?
Okay, so thank you for that, Sir Ramon. That's a good question. No? As you can see, with the question of Sir Ramon, you would see nga si Sir Ramon yun kay naagay siya sa frame sa school leadership, naagay siya sa frame being a education leader. Kay gusto niya makita nga karang the relationship of the rater and the rater, the teacher and the school leader nga relationship. It's a nice question, Sir Ramon. Yes, natay ko na Sir Ramon, pero naamo tayo specific ng mga indicators. Natay indicators that would solely look into the strategy employed by the teacher. Napot tayo indicator that would look into the research-based strategy nga i-employ. Naamo tayo gingon nga, na ako'y answer, na ako'y activity nga, it's because I innovated. Diba ga-innovate ko, sir? Pero it's not a product of research, kunuhay, ngunana, or na ako'y nabasa, sir, nga research, sir ba? And I want that to apply in my teaching. Those two things are different. Different is siya katong isa nga innovation, that's what you're suggesting katong una. Katong isa is that, sir, when I go through a reading, sir, I've seen a research-based nga, sir, nga innovation, and I want that to apply in my teaching learning process, sir. Pwede na to na siya i-rate in two different indicators. Ingon ani kanindot ang PPST, sir. What the PPSC, the uniqueness of PPSC is that ang imuang performance will not affect any other indicator. Example, if my activity on the results sa assessment sa bata. Kung ilang performance is low in the ang sa previous magud nga landscape, sir, is that when these students are performing low, automatic si teacher mo great teach, dili effective imong pagtudlo. Na maging nani nga mga rason. What will happen to this? I'll present to you two scenario, sir. Naisa ka teacher who is not doing so well, okay lang, gatilo-tudlo lang, nagtap-tap sa dingding, okay, these are the part of speech, mga nana. Pero gahandle siya sa A1 nga section, brilliant section, nga even if wala pa niya gi-introduce, students know it already. Here comes, tapos siya din is maestro, nga ning tumbling nagmayo, ning split papakapin, pero nabutang siya dito sa last section. Gitudlo na niya og maayo, wag gyud nasabtan sa bata, gibalikan pa niya maayo. Pag assessment na 0 ang bata, will we take it against the teacher? No, of course, because the performance of the student, yes, it's true nga maka-apekto the way we teach, but also it would affect their prior knowledge. And we cannot attribute that prior knowledge exactly to the teacher alone lang nga gatudlo, kay namagoy other teachers involved in building the foundational skills. So muna, Sir Ramon, nga assessment karon is not the sole basis kung effective ang pagtudlo sa teacher. Individual component based sa indicator set in that observation will be assessed independently. That one indicator will not affect any other indicator because they will be treated separately and independently to each other, from each other. So nga na kanindot ang atong IPSRF, Sir Ramon, nga IPSRF RPMS indicators kay dili gid siya mahibitang disadvantage sa teacher. Di siya disadvantage tungod kay luoy ang katong mga, especially those teachers who are teaching in the last section, though di man punta na no, pero nagay mga disadvantage na mabutang nato. So mo to, Sir Ramon, though don't worry kay I'll be talking on details about those indicators later on, siguro, Sir Ramon, if we have enough time. Pero kung wala, don't worry, because what's good about BigaTEN Region 10 atin to is that we can still have part 3, part 4, kaya pwede mapadayo na to sa mga igsuon. Kaya para connect, kay, if we're going to give it manggod nga, karang hurot bitaw karong panahon na basin og naay information overload, tendency is that katong mga importante nga butang malimtan. So we want to give you enough time para ma-process within you kung unsa gid ang atong gi-discuss. Yes, Sir Ramon, ibasin og napay laing question.
Ano pa yata mga katanungan mula direct ba? Tapos babasahin siguro ni DepEd Rada. Ayan, may tanong dyan eh. Babasahin niya ni partner. Partner!
Yes, from Mary Joy Perdegones Palos. Good morning, sir. When will this system be implemented?
Yes, very good. Thank you for that, Ma'am Mary Joy. No, it's a good question. Diba? Mo gina kong gingon nga. These teachers are very excited para sa new system. This new system are actually naana siya sa pipeline, ma'am. Ang ato lang yung kailangan is makumpleto ang 37 indicators, sir. Does it mean, sir, at the end of this school year na naging siya diretso, it will go through releases manggod na magday proseso sa pag-release sa issuances. Pero on the parameter nga pag-release ani nga policy nga karang i-consult na nimo ang CSC, i-consult nimo ang DBM, all of these agencies are being consulted na. What we're waiting is the completion of the 37 indicators, and that's then the time nga ma-implement na ito ang system. Prepared na kayo ni siya, ma'am. Ang wala lang yun nato is dili para to kumpleto ang 37 indicators, and part of it is that ang 37 indicators, the mastery and the multi-year implementation of the RPMS PPST. Pag ma-release na gito siya tanan, ma'am, that even teachers are very independent na in identifying their indicators. I don't know if how they're going to look at it. Either the principal or the teacher or the region will choose, or the national level bagyapon will choose an indicator. Depende na siya. Pero the thing is, with respect to your question, ma'am, all this system are actually in the pipeline na. Kompleto na siya tanan, prepared na tanan. Ang kailangan lagi na to is mastery and completion of the 37 PPST indicators, and it will be released very soon.
Ayan. Direct, meron pa ba direct? Ayan, meron from Catherine Sue Juliada. Sir Kaloy, are the indicators in year 3, yung violet lang ba ang among i-comply? Oy, Tagalog, Bisaya. Sige.
Yes, very good, no? Nindot gid kayo kay naka-connect na ni siya na nanagi connection gid sa tuong presentation. Yes, ma'am. Katong gi-color og violet nga mga indicators, mauto siya sa year 3. Mao ra tong atong i-comply. Mingon ta nga murag, sir, 18 man to ka book, sir. Grabe man to kabugat, sir. Ang kanindot na to is that we will be providing you as well list of MOVs And even, part of the discussion later, natay mga set A, set B, mura bitog menu, mura tayo na sa restaurant, ka mamili ta, asa ta diri mo kuha. So natay ko na nga presentation later on if we have enough time ha. Kaya basig if it won't warrant you, the time won't warrant, don't worry, napagitay enough time, we have the entire year para mag-istorya ni. Then we can even go live para sa tagsa-tagsa. Ngana na siya, ma'am. Ako to, ma'am. Ang tubagan na, ma'am, is that katong mga, katong mga violet, nga mga indicators na ka-color of violet, those are the indicators nga atong sundan for this year.
Ayan, meron pa Sir Kaloy, partner, pakibasa.
From Joya
Ayan po mga ka-DepEd Rada, that ends our 44th episode of BigaTEN DepEd atin to. We finally say thank you to the following for making every episode of BigaTEN DepEd possible. Of course, our very own Regional Director, Dr. Arturo B. Bayocot, CESA 3, Assistant Regional Director, Dr. Victor G. De Gracia Jr., CESA 5, our DIO, Rio G. Albotante from the Division of Malaybalay City, DIO Maria Joy Tan Albert from the Division of Oroquieta City, DIO Ellen Kendra Dampor from the Division of Misamis Occidental, and DIO Marie Jade Kakayan from the Division of El Salvador City for the DepEd News 10 updates.
We would also like to thank our very own BigaTEN DepEd 10 Creative Force. Thank you very much, partner, Ka-DepEd Paulo. Also, thank you to Sir Kaloy. Thank you to our directors, Ralph Simon L. Mabulay, Fatima E. Villaremo, Clifford B. Liponhay.
And of course, special thanks to the support staff from the Office of the Regional Director, kay Ma'am Juvie Estrella at kay Ma'am Annabel Baculio. Siyempre, kay Sir Elson Hamero and the team Kamigan for the BigaTEN DepEd 10 jingle. And as usual, Sir Nick Panyares for his generosity in helping us facilitate or account for the use of the StreamYard platform.
We would also like to thank our DepEd Regional Office 10 family. Thank you to the 14 schools division offices, to all our DepEd 10 schools, to all our stakeholders at lahat ng ating mga ka-DepEd, sa lahat ng nanood sa atin ngayon. And of course, Ka-DepEd Paulo, our learners, thank you very much. They are the heart of DepEd Region 10. Maraming salamat po.
Siyempre, Ka-DepEd Rada, makapaniud to na yun ta. Kita-kits sa sunod simana para sa lain na usab ka edisyon sa BigaTEN DepEd 10. Kauban ang atong bisita gikan sa DepEd Central Office para sa school-based management. Let's make BigaTEN DepEd 10 or choose 10 habit. Ug din natapos ang atong ika-44 nga edisyon sa BigaTEN DepEd 10 Season 3 atin ito. Ako si Ramon Gonzalez Ablera, aka Ka-DepEd Paulo, ang inyong Public Affairs Unit Lead Officer. Maniwala sa mga pagsulay ang among pag-alagad ikan ninyo kanunay.
Ugakusab si Candice Racoma ang inyong rakista, abogada aka ka-DepEd Rada, usab nagaingon sa DepEd amihan ng Mindanao nagpahiusang pag-alagad nagpatibabaw. Sa gihapon, kami ang inyong kauban,
Kasaligan.
kadangpan.
Siyempre, ka-DepEd. Hangtod sa sunod higayon, kini ang
BigaTEN
BigaTEN
DepEd.
DepEd.
Ang ito.
BigaTEN DepEd. Pagpagkaan sa edukasyon, matulong na mapalibon. BigaTEN DepEd. DepEd mo